It is a real pleasure to have a good friend and colleague joining us today, Gabe Morgan. Gabe is managing partner of Weil's Houston office and is also a partner in our world-renowned restructuring department. Thank you so much for joining me for this conversation today, Gabe.
Good morning, and thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Tell me a little bit about your journey as a lawyer. What initially drew you to practicing law, and specifically, what drew you into the restructuring area?
So different answers for each. What drew me to law originally was the idea that it's a new opportunity, it's a new trajectory for me, and it opened up all kinds of other opportunities. So I came in very open-minded. And when I got my summer associate offer to join Weil, I came in and I tried every practice group. And by that point, my thinking had developed to know that I really wanted to be around strategic decision making. I wanted to be, to quote Hamilton, in the room where it happens. And I felt like I had something to offer in those situations. And so I was trying all the different practice groups and trying to see which one fit best with that. And restructuring just clicked for me. And
It shows you how our summer program works and that you rotate through 4 departments, which has frankly been going on at least since 1983 when I was a summer associate.
It was a blessing for me. So
Terrific. I've actually spoken to some of your colleagues in doing this series, and it's interesting to hear the different perspectives as why people went into restructuring. But I want to sort of turn to Texas, and I know that it's been a hotspot for filings of debtor cases for some time now. I'm curious what changes or developments you're seeing in the Houston market right now in the practice.
So it is a hot spot. It has been a hot spot. We've got a very busy docket, and we're busy there too. Everywhere across the country in all the different courts, but we're busy in Texas. The development, in my mind, is really the maturation of the court and the legal market in Houston and in Texas generally. Not that it isn't long-standing, but for the bankruptcy courts, there was this idea that maybe they rose in activity during the oil and gas downturn and that cycle. And I think there was some thought that maybe this is really tied to that. And what we've seen is as that cycle eased down, the activity remained. And we've also had a turnover in the complex panel judges. And the judges that are on the panel now weren't the judges that started that cycle.
It's interesting because we opened in Houston many, many years ago because of restructuring and because of the boom at that time. So it's not, and that was in the oil and gas industry, and now it's actually become a place where all kinds of debtors file.
All kinds, automotive, healthcare, real estate. You name it, entertainment. You name it. We've restructured it down there.
Well, as always, I knew that you would have a unique and a commercial perspective on the market. You started out your career in the New York office, and I think you moved to Houston about 7 or so years ago. What can you tell me about the evolution of the office and what you see for the road ahead?
So you mentioned 40 years in Houston, which that's sort of my starting point. That there's a long commitment to the community there, and I see, my story there as being part of a chapter in a larger book, and it's been an exciting chapter. Similar to the reference to the judges, we have all new partners, 5 laterals in the transactional side that are the tip of the spear for our energy and infrastructure practice, 2 internal promotions on the restructuring side. Just our headcount has almost doubled, maybe a little more, and it's a group that is driven, motivated, and really young. So we're well poised for a long, steady build.
And I would give that a big wow. It's interesting. I've been involved in it, but hearing you recap all of it, that's what's happened over the last few years, really underscores how dynamic the Houston market is and all the great growth and additions that we've had. In your role of steering the office, you've been involved in recruitment, you've been involved with advancement of our talent. So give me what your elevator pitch is on why Weil, why now, in Houston, or even generally speaking.
I feel like I used some of my best material for the last question. So I'm a lifelong, and this is coming out. I'm a lifelong WILE person, and that's not accidental. That's very intentional. And the reason that I have always stayed is this firm and this job has always grown with me. So as I sort of reach a new point in my development, there's always been an opportunity. There's always been someone to support me there. And that's partly the practice. Restructuring is a dynamic, evolving practice. That's partly the individuals I've been working for and with. But the consistency over time, to me, speaks to a larger sort of ethos of people at WILE want to build, want to grow, want to develop. And if they see someone who wants that too, they will support, they will help, they will
Yes,
nurture.
no, I agree with you. It was your talent that the leaders in your group saw and asked you and saw an opportunity and asked you to relocate. You've been doing an excellent job. I had a similar experience back when I was a tax lawyer, being asked to move into the corporate department. So I think that's an interesting thing about WILE, and it's always been that way. When they see people who have the energy and the desire and the opportunity, they go for it. So as an office head, there are many different management aspects that people, I'm sure, have no appreciation whatsoever about. I'm curious to hear any surprising things you've learned over time about office leadership. And look, it can be the good, the bad, and even the ugly if there is.
The I guess it's not surprising, but the most interesting piece to me has been, and I sort of think of this as a metaphor. You know, as a lawyer, you're focused on your career, you're focused on your practice, you're focused on the clients you're working for and serving. As an office head, you sort of step back and look at everyone's path and career and practice. And so I think of it almost as like traffic. If you're a lawyer, you're in your car getting to your destination. When you're managing, you're looking back at the flow of traffic and how are all the cars moving and where are they going and who's coming on, who's going off, where is it?
I've never heard that metaphor, but that's an interesting one. I'm actually going to use it myself.
Become a city planner.
Yes.
The surprising thing is how effective snacks are. Right, just snacks. The absence or presence of snacks can change behavior dramatically.
Thank you for that perspective and for that line, which as I said before, I will clearly use in the future. More work goes into firm leadership than anyone can possibly realize. But I'd really like to round out today's discussion with a question that's a little bit more open-ended than the ones I've asked you, which is, who is a leader outside of the legal industry that you admire and why?
So I think that question, how do you think about leadership is the way I would start to answer that. And we often think of leadership as a very big thing, you know, like number one, top head honcho. I actually think of leadership on a much smaller scale when I think of the people that I really admire and look up to. And I think of my teachers, my children's teachers, coaches, family members, you know, mothers, my own wife. Like, those are the leaders of family units, classrooms, teams that really build and instill character. And I
probably
admire
have
that.
more impact than the big leaders you're talking about. I've probably had a bigger impact in my own unit than I have had with respect to the firm. So
that's who I look up to. Those are the people I really admire.
So now we're going to get into a little different thing. We're going to go through some fast questions, lightning round of questions.
Okay.
And we'll just see where it takes us.
Hopefully somewhere good.
How do you like to start each day?
I drive my kids to school. It's my sacred time.
What's your favorite snack?
Cheetos or yogurt, depending on its morning or afternoon.
Wow, that's two different
very
levels of health.
It depends.
What's your go-to health and wellness activity?
Running.
I wish I could still do that myself. What's the last movie that you watched on an airplane?
Lone Survivor.
What was your favorite subject in high school?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's a new one.
I probably don't get that a lot.
What's your peak time of day?
The nighttime is the right time. I'm a night owl.
Okay, that's also different. Many of the people before you talked about the mornings, but name a habit or attribute that drives your friends and your loved ones crazy?
Um,
Uh-oh.
that's tough.
Uh-oh.
Quoting movies is probably one that I've also been told I'm loud.
Okay.
That I project is the polite way to say it. I'm loud is the way my family tells me.
Okay. What's the last TV show that you binge watched?
1883.
Name an upcoming vacation or trip that you're looking forward to.
I have a winter vacation ski trip with my family that I'm excited about.
Awesome. What word would an associate on one of your matters use to describe you?
I hope, I hope, thoughtful.
Okay. Well, thank you. This was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you coming up to New York to do this.
Definitely, my pleasure.